Hello, Professor Toybox here, along with Aladdin, and we'd like to welcome you back to my Agrabah toy box. Today I'm going to start building some of the locations from the early part of the Aladdin movie, where the guards chase him through the city streets after he steals a loaf of bread. At the end of that sequence, he ends up out here on the main road that we built last time, and this is where Prince Ahmed is riding into town. I've done my best to reconstruct the path that Aladdin took based on which way he turns and which direction he takes along the way. And so as we get started here, we're going to start out on this end of town. And I'm looking for this block out here on the very corner. And this corner will be our reference point for the start of our build. Here are some screenshots from the Aladdin movie of the first area in the chase. This looks like a construction zone with some stacks of barrels and wooden scaffolding. A ladder leads to the top of the scaffolding, where Aladdin leaps off, Abu catches him, and they enter the window below. So as we begin our build, I'm going to start with this long block, and I'm going to drop it right here on the corner, just like that. That'll get our spacing correct, and this is kind of necessary because we're starting out here away from town, and it isn't really clear at this point where we're going to connect to the rest of the town yet. And I'm going to start with this massive Agrabah citadel, and I'm going to line it up with the end of this block just like that. And then I'm going to move this block over here. This will be the foundation for some stairs. And we're going to use this little building right here, tucked on the corner. And we're going to put it just like this. And for the stairs on this side, I'm going to use this 3-block long stairway. And on the other side, we'll put down these Agrabah stairs. And then we'll need one more little block out here on the end, just like that. Now this will be the alleyway where the action happens. And so I'm going to need some section of fencing here, or some wall. I'm going to use this small Agrabah archway because that's the same height as the building. And I'll need this small section of wall to go with that. And then we're going to use the 3x3 building section out here. And I'm going to turn this around and line this up with the end of that, just like this. And I'm going to make this 2 stories high. And I'm going to put the clear piece here above that. And then this one will go like this. And again, we'll put the blank section down here like that. And one more section like that. And so now we have kind of our alleyway taking place. Down under the plants drawer, Fantasy Terrain 2 is the piece with the barrels. So I'm going to put this down, and I've already dropped the power disc for Aladdin's Sands of Time. So that gives me this Marketplace Barrels texture. I'm going to set that to be my theme, because I may drop a couple more of those before we're done. And then we need the scaffolding. And you'll find that in Building Sets Group 6. If we scroll to the right, we have this little piece right here. And I'm going to drop down 4 of these like this, and you can rotate them a little bit. Doesn't really matter too much. This will be somewhat covered up. And then one more up here like that. And then I'll need a ladder connecting that. And actually, before we do that, let's put the rope climb in here. I want to drop this rope climb up on the wall, just like that. And then we'll come up to the platforming toys drawer and go left. And we don't have to go too far before we find the ladders. They're just after these ledge hangs. And that'll do just like that. And then we have these Agrabah wood posts. And we can put these out here along the wall like that. That would be what Abu was hanging on when he caught Aladdin. And then they swung through this little window down here. So that looks pretty good. It's pretty close to what we see in the movie. We come out here and just take a quick little look. Aladdin would have come through this archway here. We have the barrels there. We have the scaffolding up here. And yeah, that looks pretty good. Now, after he goes through that window, he goes through the building here. And if I remember right, there's like a guy's harem in here. And he comes out the window on the other side. And that's where he finds himself in a street packed with sheep. And at the end of the street is a door where the guards corner him. So for this section of the wall, we're going to need to put in another one of these pieces. So I'll pick that up and put it down. And I'm going to drop this over here and turn it like that. And then I want to use this larger archway. And I'm going to line this up with the corner end of that building just like that. And this will be the archway that we see behind the guards as they're chasing him through there. And over here, we're going to put down this smaller building, just like that. And this one here, we'll put over like that. And there's our alleyway. And I'm going to go ahead and add a stairway here, because this is going to connect to some other places later, so the person can get up the stairway and across and over to this door. And then on this side of the street, we need another archway. And for this, I'm going to use the small Agrabah archway, because that's the same height as this building right here. And I'm actually going to put it kitty corner to that, just like this. And I'm going to run a few of these buildings down the side. And we'll turn this one around. And I think that's the way I'd want this to go. I'll put this one like that. And then on this side of the street, we're going to put down some more of these. And I'm going to line this one up, let's see, like this. With, yeah, just like that. And I'll put an archway over here. Oops. With the decorative edge facing out. And then one more of these, just like that. And so that'll be the doorway that you see as Aladdin comes down across the sheep. And that's where the guards corner him. So that's looking pretty good. And I want to make this one a little bit higher. So we'll drop another one down on top. And we'll go like that. And we'll go like that. All right. So that'll be the sheep area. And if I had the memory, I'd love to put a little pen, maybe a little section of fence here on this end and one on this end, and just fill this up with sheep. But that would take a lot of resources, so I'm not going to do that. But if you're on a different system and you got memory, go for it. Okay, so from here, Aladdin ducks away and he runs down the street in that direction. And he's chased down a long street where we see a firewalker, a sword swallower, and a snake charmer. I decided to skip the firewalker and the sword swallower to keep the road from becoming too long, but I did keep the place where the rope is hanging above the snake charmer. And so as we come in here, I'm going to go ahead and continue with the kind of narrow corridor here. And we'll put one of these in here. We'll put one of these in here. And I'll cover part of that up here in a moment. And then we're going to need another archway. And again, I'm going to use this 2-block high one, because that's the height of this building right here. And I'm going to put one of these here and one of these here. And then for the long rope, we can add this here. That'll take us all the way up to the top of the building. And I'm going to put it like this to kind of help hide that seam a little bit. And right below that is where the snake charmer would have sat. And so Aladdin will take off down that way. We got the rope that he can use to get away, or he can keep coming this way. And that will lead to the next location in the chase, which is a small bazaar. But I'm going to save that for next time. This video is already getting too long. We'll go ahead and put a couple of finishing touches on here, though, before we finish. We have some doors hanging up here in space, and that's not good. So I'm going to cover these up with a balcony on this one. And we'll put that like that. And then to fill that empty space, we'll put a balcony here. And over on this side, to cover up that door, we'll put another balcony out like this. And we should put a little ledge below that door, because that's kind of hanging off in space. Like that. And then over on this side, we'll put some additional buildings in here later on that'll connect to the rest of the area. But for now, I think that's pretty good. So that's starting to look a lot like the place where Aladdin was chased at the beginning of the movie. So he starts off, the guards chase him in here. He runs up the barrels and up the scaffolding and through that window. The guards run around the building to try to cut off Aladdin, and he's out here. He comes out the window over top of the sheep to the door, and the guards surround him at the door, and he ducks away and heads off down the alley, past the snake charmer, and into the bazaar, which, as I mentioned, we'll build next time. Until then, I want to thank you for watching, and thank you for all of your positive comments and feedback so far. I read each and every comment, and I appreciate them, even if I don't respond to each and every one. If you're not a subscriber yet, all you need to do is click my photo in the lower right corner of this video, or the follow button on my blog, and then you'll never miss one of my videos. And don't forget, if you want to build my toy box for yourself, you'll find floor plans and logic diagrams on my blog to help you out. Thanks again for watching, and I hope you have a great day.